throughout this show, we've had conversations about the Celtics and Nets sprinkled throughout the show. But now we're going to have a full segment dedicated to them because Ben Simmons designed Game 4 as a potential game to return. And even with that, the Nets have to win Game 3 for his return to mean anything, if it is going to mean anything in the long run. Now, how big of an impact do you think Ben Simmons could have on this series? And do you think the Nets are going to come back from this 0-2 deficit? Drew, I'll go with you because you're the huge Boston guy here.
And Ben guy.
And this is pretty unfortunate for me because I want Ben to succeed. I want him to do well. But I'll tell you what, it's not going to solve much for them because their problem right now is that they need offense. Defensively, they've been doing a decent job on Jason Tatum. He had a good game 1, but struggled game 2. They just need offense, consistent offense, and I don't know if Ben Simmons is going to provide that for you, especially at this point in time where he's making his season debut in Game 4 of the first round of the playoffs. It's a lot to expect from him. Yes, you can expect him to come in and play great defense because that's something you can do immediately coming back into the game is give effort. Offensively, that's where I struggle to understand if he's going to fit in and really leave his impact because right now they need scoring, and if Ben Simmons is not going to provide that for him, then what really can you look from Ben Simmons coming back and what is your true expectations of the offense right now? Because what lineup are you going to run? You're going to run a Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, most likely Bruce Brown because he's been their third best player for them, or you could say their third most important player. I guess you have to run either a Claxton or
Seth?
There you go, and Steph Curry.
You telling me so Nash? He's an idiot already,
bro. His adjustment making is arguably the worst
he's not a good coach
in the playoffs.
But you're gonna tell me Kevin Durant has already seen 3 to 4 defenders. He already can't go left. He's not hitting shots, and now to top it off, you're gonna throw Ben Simmons on the court with Bruce Brown. Okay.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Celtics
and I said it on Twitter too. I said on Twitter, I was like, bro, I actually don't think they'll be doing anybody any favors by rushing Ben Simmons
Celtics in 4. If they throw out that lineup, Celtics in 4.
Bro, it's horrible.
Because that's
it's
the lineup. And if Drummond subs in,
that's what I'm saying. You have Bruce Brown, Ben Simmons, Drummond, KD, Kyrie. Yeah, exactly. Or Claxton, Drummond, whichever.
It's just too many non-floor spaces.
I mean, Drew, you had this. You said you wouldn't be shocked if the Celtics win in 5. And I guess now with the 2-0 lead, are you making that your prediction now?
No, oh, sure.
Celtics
I'm definitely more confident in the Celtics in 5 for sure, especially the struggles that I've seen from Kevin Durant. But anything can happen in Brooklyn. I'd say that my prediction of it going 5 is a lot better than what I was given credit for initially. But you can't expect Brooklyn to not win 1. If they got swept, I would be stunned. But I do firmly believe this series can end in 5. The way that Boston's been playing defensively.
Man.
You know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. Celtics in 5 for sure. The way that I've seen the Nets struggle offensively, Kyrie Irving had an unbelievable game 1. It looked like he put the dagger in the Celtics' hearts, hitting that 3 over Marcus Smart, and somehow, some way, Celtics still came out with the W. Game 2, they're up 15 points. I think did it get up to 18 points? Regardless of that, 15-point lead from the Nets. Comes into the second half, they get it to down 10, and the third and fourth quarter, completely different story. Celtics were dominant. Why or what have I seen that hasn't been able to lead me to believe that the Celtics can win in 5?
I picked Nets in 6. It's not looking too good, but like you said, anything can happen in Brooklyn. Kyrie's on. He going through Ramadan right now, man.
I need that's something. I'm glad you bring it up because nothing but respect for Kyrie Irving for doing something like that.
I was saying that because KD let him down, man. Like
well said. Well said.
Game 1, Kyrie come out. He goes crazy. I'm not a Kyrie fan, but I was in. Like he was going crazy, doing his thing, putting the team on his back. KD struggling. He struggling to make the same mid-range elbow shot he always makes. Game 2. Both of them were struggling a lot. Now they got to go into Brooklyn. It's going to be tough because this team, like you said, this team is a high-powered offensive team, but a lot of this season they haven't really been able to play together because this team has been injured a lot. So it's not looking too good. And right now, Steve Nash isn't the type of coach that can break a scheme that Udoka has out there right now. And it's really just him going out there, putting up a lineup, and then they just have to figure it out. He's kind of watching like all of us, to be honest, and making subs from here to there. So it's really up to KD and Kyrie to figure it out. But all that's to say, I don't care because Kevin Durant and Kyrie have won championships. They're supposed to be at that type of level that they should be able to figure out. Seth Curry hasn't been great, but at the same time, I saw in Game 1, at the end of the game, I saw Claxton be huge for them on the offense.
He was.
I saw Kyrie be amazing.
Dragic.
Bruce Brown make some plays. Goran Dragic make some plays. So this team still has a lot of hope, and you can pick where they've been good at, but they haven't been consistently good in 2 games. They blew it in game 2. Now they got to go to Brooklyn. It's going to be a packed crowd. Hopefully that arena is going to be packed. They can still win. We've seen
They blew it in game 1 too. Let's be honest.
yeah, they have a lot of they have blown both of these games because they could have easily been up 2-0.
They could be up 2-0.
So
Agreed.
going into Brooklyn, a lot of things have to change. Defensively, they have to be better. Offensively, they have to be more precise, and they can't fold any type of leads. But we've seen it before. You can go up 2-0 and lose the lead very quickly. So anything's possible, and they're both veterans. So I expect KD and Kyrie to get it done. I still have Nets in 6.
I respect you standing on your word, but bro, I
I'm
don't
a
know
stander,
how
'cause they
you
can win
are.
4
You
straight.
are,
I'm a
and
stander,
listen,
boy.
so am I.
So you're saying
But-
Nets are winning 4 straight.
Yes, the Nets will win 4 straight. And if I'm wrong,
I like that. I like
take the
that.
L in peace. They're
I
not my
got
team.
Celtics in 7 though. I got Celtics in 7. The biggest reason why I'm saying that, and I had this before these last 2 games. The thing that makes it a little bit concerning with me with the Celtics, excuse me, with the Nets, is that they're playing in a way that I think a lot of people thought was going to work, and they don't have a counter to it. Like the problem with that is that they don't have the reps to actually have a proper counter to the style of basketball. Kevin Durant looks like, even beyond like the jokes about him not having the left, like he's going to have to make the right decisions to pass the ball. There's way too many times where they're doubling him, they're shrinking the floor, you're digging at him at his left hand, and he's not gathering and making the proper reads and finding the open man and making them punish for it. The Celtics are doing that. Shout out to Marcus Smart. He's actually hitting his shots, and they're making the decisions properly, something that Tatum has been heavily criticized in the beginning part of the season. And the Nets are just not doing it. And if they're not going to do that, then there's literally no way they can win this series, like at all. Like they're going to have to trust their teammates and make the big shots. That's the reason why if you have Ben Simmons on there, somebody else who doesn't have any reps with them, who's going to go out there and not be a floor spacer, he's definitely going to add some defense to them, but not so much as going to change anything. And what's even crazy is that Tatum and Brown have had spotty stretches throughout this series, and they're still winning the game just because they're able to really match up with them really well defensively. So if you're able to siphon Kevin Durant's production to the tune that the Boston Celtics have been able to, there's literally no answer for the Nets, because that's been their whole identity, is that KD and Kyrie are so offensively gifted that they're going to win the series. But if one of them doesn't show up, there's literally no other answer they have that can win the series right now. None.
The Celtics are up 2-0 right now. Both games, Nets should have won. It's simple as that. I think game 1, that Tatum buzzer beater, that was just something like, wow, everything just went right. Ime not calling a timeout was a great move in hindsight.
KD not playing defense.
Yep. But Nets
Standing there on the game-winning possession from Tatum.
Nets should have won game 1. Game 2, you're up by 10 points at the half at least. Kevin Durant goes 0 for 10 in the second half, the worst shooting half of his entire career. As much as, you have joked around about Kevin Durant this entire podcast, I don't think Kevin Durant is going out like this.
I heard that game.
I think Kevin Durant is going to split this series. The Celtics did what they had to do, protect home court. I think Brooklyn will protect home court as well, although they didn't do it in Game 7 when I attended last season, which I'm very upset about. I think they'll protect home court. I don't expect Kevin Durant to keep struggling like this. Kyrie didn't have a good game in Game 2. And although Tatum and Jaylen Brown haven't had spectacular performances, at least offensively and shooting-wise, everybody else has stepped up. Marcus Smart, Grant Williams was perfect last game.
Crazy, man.
Al Horford was really good. Like, all of their role players have stepped up. Payne Pritchard last game was really huge. I don't know how much I trust Tatum and Brown to do what they do. I don't know how much I trust Grant Williams being perfect and having 17 points again.
He's been solid all year. 17 points, I agree, but
he has
been,
been, but I just like perfect. I just
Al Horford has been amazing.
I understand that, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't fully trust that. But I want to make this take, because even though I'm picking the Nets in 7, right now it doesn't look too good for Kevin Durant, and that made me think about an idea that I had, and. Everybody's coming out and they're throwing jokes at Kevin Durant. They're slandering him. But has nobody ever stopped and think about maybe this is who Kevin Durant has been all along. OKC early in his career, he was second to LeBron James.
Here we go.
Then his last year in OKC,
I'm not even here.
he was second to Steph Curry. They came back 3-1 and beat him. Kevin Durant joined Steph Curry, and he becomes, quote-unquote, the first guy and wins Finals MVP, mostly due to Steph's gravity. He gets credited for that. The only year Kevin Durant, you can say, was the quote-unquote best player in the world was after the 2017 Finals when he hit those back-to-back daggers on LeBron James. And people wanted to make a big deal out of it, but, I mean, the Warriors were just a far better team.
And he wasn't even officially the best player in the world. They won that championship, and ESPN still dropped their list as LeBron James the best player in the world.
And then Kevin Durant goes to Brooklyn. He leaves the Warriors. He doesn't play the first year. The second year, you lose to Milwaukee. Now, Giannis outplays you, beat you at home, Game 7. I understand the stats may favor Kevin Durant, but all around, Giannis had the better game. Now, this year, you're getting outplayed by Tatum. This is the fourth time in Kevin Durant's career where he's finishing second to another great player. First, it was LeBron. Then it was Steph. Then it was Giannis. Now it's Tatum. Is this just who Kevin Durant has always been? He's always been the second one. He's never been the best.
You missing some moments. Don't forget Dirk. Don't forget Kobe. I mean, the list gets more than 4. This man has been outplayed a lot. The Kevin Durant camp is not looking too good right now, and I think you can somewhat make the argument that you have great points, and he has shriveled up in moments, but it's still time to, put those to bed. Like you said, he has to go home. They have to protect home.
I was about to say, listen, you just sat here and told me that you don't think Kevin Durant's going out sorry. You think that Kevin Durant's going to pick it up. If Kevin Durant picks it up and they still lose.
I mean, you're right, but like in years past, I mean, last year he averaged 30 and lost. Like, that's respectable. Like, right now, he's just
he's been
horrible.
He's been absolutely
like going
terrible.
out like this is sad. I think even if they lose, as long as Kevin Durant has like 40-point games,
Peyton
I'm like, okay,
Pritchard by
I'm all right.
himself outscored KD and Kyrie in the fourth quarter. Combined. Peyton Pritchard.
That shit wouldn't happen to Steph.
It should never happen.
But for as great as we know Kevin Durant is, I don't think there's ever been a year where we looked at him as the consensus best player in the NBA.
Listen, you're looking
No,
never.
Not consensus. I mean, how many guys in this era have been the consensus best player?
LeBron.
Yeah,
like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Like
outside
2 or
of
3.
LeBron.
And I feel like
LeBron,
Giannis
Curry?
after.
That's pretty much
Now,
it.
question. I would say, do you think Curry ever was definitively the best?
2016, he was definitively the best player.
LeBron beat him.
But 2015 going to 2016,
Remember,
I
he
feel
won
like
back-to-back
he was
MVPs.
definitely-
I'm not saying you're
walking
wrong.
up to the finals, he was the consensus best player in the league.
I don't know.
We
Walking
had-
up
we
to the
had-
finals.
That's what
So,
I'm saying. The second final.
LeBron, we know,
until
has
he
been
lost it. Okay.
LeBron, we know, has been the best player in the league for like
So it wasn't
a decade.
consensus.
It was because 2015 he won the MVP. 2016 he just won another. He was the consensus best player in the league.
These are the
Even if
players.
you don't want to say that though, it's LeBron and Giannis. I mean, it's
Correct.
LeBron
I'll
and
give you
Giannis.
Giannis, and even you could debate Kawhi for one season.
How does Giannis
Yeah.
and Kawhi get it but not Curry?
Because
That's messed up.
it is, but it's different because LeBron was in his prime when he was doing what he was doing when Curry was winning championships. So it wasn't consensus.
I said Curry though.
But that's the thing. I disagree with that because again, 2015
You shouldn't.
they
He
still
won unanimous. You can't disagree
No,
with that.
and listen, credit to him. What he
can't.
did was absolutely unbelievable.
Kawhi didn't even win an MVP.
No, true, but again, you still had people saying that Kawhi Leonard was the best player in the world.
Did you believe
There are
that?
No,
four
of
players.
course.
There are 4 players that, at least I think the majority of the basketball community at one point had as the best player in the world consensus, and that's LeBron, Curry, Kawhi, and then Giannis after this past season.
I disagree with Curry, but if I
When was Giannis the best player in the league to you?
this past season?
this year.
No, not too low. Hold on,
This
because
past
I'm getting
season.
somewhere.
What are you
Hold
talking-
on.
This season.
This season, you literally were still saying LeBron was the best
Okay, we're
player in
talking
the league.
about my favorite player going into the season.
Okay, so take your bias aside.
I
Curry's
said
on the list.
Giannis, but that's different. We're talking about when LeBron beat Curry
He beat him
in
once
2016. When you're saying he was unanimously
So
the
when
best.
so when he won MVP and then he won the first ring, he wasn't considered the best.
But the first ring,
But was he considered the best?
I don't think that
and
he
then
was
when
considered
went,
the
and
best.
then he won unanimous MVP that year. He wasn't
But
considered
then
the
he
best.
lost the
But
finals.
I'm talking about walking up. He wasn't considered the best.
Going into the finals, people were talking Curry was the best.
No, after LeBron came back,
that's what I'm saying.
Nobody was
I'm talking
saying
about
Curry's the
before
best.
that. He just won an MVP.
So
he
it was
won a ring,
irrelevant.
and then he won unanimous. He was
King,
considered
what
the
you're
best.
talking about is like really, really nice up until it doesn't
'cause you're
matter
being
because you lost.
biased.
I'm not.
You are. You're not making sense. How did you just said Kawhi, the man who didn't win an MVP and won the finals, was the best player in the league. Okay, but Steph Curry, who won the MVP,
But he didn't win the
won the
finals.
finals.
No, he didn't.
2015, he did.
Dude,
then he won the
LeBron
finals,
lost.
and
All right,
he
if
wasn't
you're
the
gonna let
best
me
player.
speak,
That doesn't make sense.
Kevin Love was hurt. Kyrie goes out in game 1.
Kevin
still
Durant
goes
was hurt.
6.
Kawhi won. Kevin Durant was hurt. Kawhi won.
But Curry was still playing.
But Kevin Durant was hurt. We know if Kevin Durant plays, they don't win.
But so all right. So
So
you're not
if you're
saying
gonna-
that.
no, but if you're gonna
not-
use the same injuries, you have to
listen,
use it for
I'm
Kawhi.
not- I agree with that. I'm fine with that.
You're not
the
making
only
sense.
two consensus is Giannis and LeBron.
That's crazy. Consensus is crazy. I don't understand.
Consensus.
I don't understand how you win.
Do you understand what
unanimous MVP.
consensus means?
I don't understand how you win.
Because there was
I don't
no
understand that.
there was
I don't
no
understand that.
one at the end of the 2016 season saying that Curry was better than LeBron.
But there was no one at the end of 2015 saying anybody was better than Steph.
What are you
There was
talking
nobody
about?
after he won a ring.
LeBron
Nobody was
averaged
saying,
36 that series.
but nobody was saying he was better than Steph after he just
he
won
was.
MVP
But he
and a
did-
finals,
But
bro.
he didn't win final. He wasn't even the best player of that series for his
You
team.
said he was. He just didn't win Finals
What are
MVP.
you talking- I said it
Don't be
was.
one of those
I
guys
didn't
because you said
say
he
it
should have
was.
deserved Finals MVP
Wait,
before.
who was the best player of that series?
I mean, Iguodala was Finals
I'm
MVP.
asking you, who was the best player of
my
that series?
Listen, yes, Curry statistically was better, but
I don't know who's better. Just not,
oh
bro,
my God, are we talking about better player? Am I? Who
Who was the best player?
Bro, who was the best
Take
player
that
in that
Finals
series?
MVP.
Steph
Who's the
Curry.
best player?
Steph Curry.
So then
Well,
why'd
who
you
was the
bring
best
it
player
up?
in the finals?
I'm talking the Warriors. Talking about
Okay, in the Warriors, I'm fine.
It was Steph, right?
Because in the best player in the series was LeBron James.
Okay, but who was the best
Because
player in the
LeBron
Warriors?
James could have won MVP losing.
No,
we
he
don't
couldn't.
do that.
He was never going to do that. Losers don't get MVPs.
He won. He was leading in every single
And he
category
lost.
for both teams.
He lost.
Congratulations, you guys beat an injured team.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that means
So
that
did
Steph
Kawhi.
Curry was consensus, but you still had Steph Curry
All right. I mean, it just
and
doesn't-
Draymond Green.
Listen, it just doesn't make sense to me.
No
Everybody-
Kevin Love,
doesn't
no
make sense to
Kyrie.
me.
Still went 6.
Doesn't make sense to me.
And Clay gets hurt game 6.
Clay got hurt game 6 and game 4.
But I'm saying game 6 Clay was in full
And he didn't
effect.
play.
So I got
game
so I
four.
got a question for you. So, after 2016 Steph, or after this past season Giannis, who's the better player?
Oof.
I think it's pretty
what?
easy. I think it's pretty easy. It's Steph. Steph is better.
Okay.
All right.
You hate Curry.
Hmm?
You hate Curry.
No, I don't.
You got to.
I don't hate him.
There's no way you're thinking about it.
No, I mean I mean, I can think about it.
You serious?
I can think about it. I mean, I have that right.
But
Wait. What's the question?
Are
After-
you taking post 2016 Curry, or are you taking Giannis 2022? Giannis 2022, like for me not to be able to think about it, given the fact that
this
he's
is
the
this is
defensive
we're talking
player.
about before Kevin Durant, Steph.
Yes, but we saw a
Oh, you took 2016.
Yeah,
Steph Curry.
2015, 2016 Steph.
Oh no, that's
yeah, you go Curry, but I can think about it
I don't know. That sounds crazy.
because we're talking about Giannis, who's still 2-time MVP, defensive
We're
player of
talking
the
about
year, Finals
unanimous
MVP.
though.
Steph has like a top 10 peak ever.
Yeah. Giannis doesn't have a top 10 peak.
Yeah, Steph like has like a top 10 peak ever.
That season was ridiculous.
Bro, come on.
No, it was amazing.
Yeah, like
He revolutionized
pay
basketball.
respect.
There it is.
Thank you.
Mm,
Love Giannis though. He's cool.
Of course, we're talking
Great
about an
guy.
all-time
He's
great.
cool.
Great guy.
We're talking about an all-time great.
Oh, no facts.
He's gonna finish. He could finish top 10 all time.
So can Steph.
I don't know about that.
That's a dumb thing to say.
No, it's not.
Wow.
Why do you say things like that?
Who's Steph gonna finish up over in
Well,
top 10?
who's Giannis going to finish over? What? What are you
The
about
way
to do?
that his trajectory is going right
But-
now,
but
he can't be
Steph-
the
if
greatest
Steph was-
power forward of all time.
Over Tim Duncan?
He has ways to go.
He
Yes.
needs 4
but-
championships.
All right. If he gets 3 championships,
What?
it's not a conversation.
We're talking about, you said put him over.
He can right now the way he's 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He has the accolades that he already has. He has a Finals MVP and a 2-time
Duncan has
MVP.
3.
Yeah. credit to
Oh,
him.
if Curry wins a ring this year, what is he?
There you go. He's top 10. He's top 10, but he has to win Finals MVP.
Okay.
I need the Finals, but I
You-
need
but
the
you-
Finals
but you-
MVP.
You just made it seem like it was
I
impossible.
need
Yeah,
it.
I'm about to say,
All right,
it
that's
seems
fair.
like-
You're right. I did say it was impossible. I wasn't thinking about this year, and I
And plus,
apologize.
at the same age, Duncan had more accolades than Giannis.
And he was on the
Yeah.
rings was just coming. Like,
San Antonio, I mean, they came in right away and they won.
Because of Tim Duncan.
Yeah, because of Tim Duncan.
for sure.
Became relevant because of Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
He was a 39-year-old
They were
on defensive.
I mean, they did get the number 1 pick, so they weren't really great. But they tanked specifically to get Duncan.
But David Robinson choked.
Yeah,
And he
for
could never
sure.
get it
For
done
sure.
until Duncan
No,
got
definitely.